विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देगं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the costless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we have successfully finished 3 slokas in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Nature, Enjoyer, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. So, Krishna is now teaching us, in fact, we finished 4 slokas in that chapter. So, Krishna is actually teaching us very clearly about Arjuna's questions. Krishna is answering Arjuna's questions. There is Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya. So we already know what is Kshetra and Kshetrajna, and also Jnana means knowing about Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetra is the body and Kshetrajna is the soul. That is the knower of the body. The knower of the body is the Kshetrajna, and then Jnana is anyone who has knowledge about the Kshetra and Kshetrajna, about the body and the knower of the body. So that knowledge is called Jnana. So that means having this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we will know about our body, about our soul, about Krishna, about everything. So this is knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is knowledge. So anything else is ignorance. That's what Krishna is saying there. So whatever I declare here is the knowledge. Anything other than this, it is called ignorance. That's what Krishna is saying that. Yatato, there is ajnanam yatato anyata. Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyata. So whatever I have told here, whatever I have mentioned here, so etat jnanam iti proktam, they are knowledge, jnanam. Ajnanam yatato anyata. Anything other than this, they are called ignorance. That's what Krishna is saying there. So the real knowledge, what we are studying and getting from this Bhagavad Gita, this is the knowledge. We are very fortunate to get this knowledge actually. We are able to now understand about ourselves with this opportunity, this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is so merciful that he gave this knowledge to us. Krishna came to this well and gave this knowledge to Arjuna, and now also it is available to us to study the way Krishna wants us to understand. We are exactly getting this knowledge the way Krishna wants us to study and understand. So only 18 chapters, 700 slokas. If we clearly understand that we are not the body, we are the soul, then if we are able to do in our activity, daily activities, every day, with this understanding, with this knowledge that we are the soul, that means not having any attachment to anything in this material realm. So that's what is very important. Not having any attachment to any material things. So that means only we are able to focus only on Krishna. So that means we will live for Krishna, do everything for Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that means just following all the instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita as it is. Our life is going to be very, very blissful. We are going to be extremely peaceful. And we will be able to really live this life. we'll be able to enjoy this life. So that is the real enjoyment. Real enjoyment comes with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you are ignorant, then suffering only. The end result is only suffering. Struggling in this material realm, in this material existence, always trying to achieve temporary things, which is always we are going to lose. Whatever we achieve, we are going to lose. In this life itself, we will be losing. Many times, things we achieve, it's not permanently staying with us. Of course, at the time of death, we are going to lose everything. Everything we are going to lose in this world. All our connections with this material world, everything in this material world, we are completely going to lose at the time of death. But even while living also, many times we are losing actually, every day. So that way, we need to understand very well from this Bhagavad Gita knowledge that we should not be wasting our life, this human life especially, and focusing on all kinds of material things. So that they are not going to bring us any peace of mind, happiness, or anything in this world. We won't be satisfied with anything in this material world. With material sense objects, with material things, material opulence, nothing is going to satisfy us. Only Krishna consciousness, only connecting ourselves with Krishna, with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that's what brings us satisfaction to the mind, satisfaction to ourselves. So then only we will be able to enjoy. So that is real happiness, focusing on Krishna. And another thing we understand very well from this Bhagavad Gita, that everything is actually coming from Krishna. That's very important to know. We're going after in this material world, going after this material sense objects without even knowing the source of all these things. So everything has to come from Krishna. Even if you worship any other gods, so whatever they are giving, it's actually coming from Krishna only. Mayaiva vikitan kitan. That's what Krishna is saying. So, sataya sraddhaya tasyaradhanam yigate. Sataya sraddhaya upeta sasyaradhanam yigate. Labate cha tadaka kaman mayaiva vikitan kitan. So Krishna is saying that they will achieve whatever they want. Labatecha tadaha kaman, by worshipping other gods, but they are actually coming from me only. That's what Krishna is saying. That we already studied that at length in the 7th chapter. So when Krishna is the source of everything, so why can't we go directly to Krishna and ask for things? We don't even have to ask for things. Krishna will give us. In the 7th chapter, 22, sloka number 22, Krishna is saying that Sataya Saddaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanam Yigate Labate Chattadaga Kaman Mayaiva Vigitan Hitan. That's what Krishna is saying. So, Kamai stays there, Kritagnyana Prabatyante Anya Devata. Tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyata swayaga. So, their knowledge distorted, Kritagnyana. So, Kritagnyana means if they don't have any knowledge. So, that's what is very important. So, without having knowledge, Kamai stays there, Kritagnyana Prabatyante Anya Devata. So, they worship, they surrender unto other gods. That means what? Without having what knowledge? Without having the knowledge that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. That's what in the previous sloka Krishna says. In the sloka number 19 in the 7th chapter, Krishna is saying that Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Ma Prabatyate Vasudevam Sarvam Iti Samahatma Sudullabaga. So that knowledge. So that's what Kama says there, Kritagnyana means one who doesn't have that knowledge that Vasudevaga Sarvam Iti. Vasudeva is everything. Krishna is everything. If anyone who doesn't have that knowledge, Kama stays there, Kritagnyana. Why we will not have that knowledge? Why we don't understand that Krishna, Vasudeva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because of our desires in this material world, because of our material desires. Kama stays there, Kritagnyanaga. So this Kama is the problem because these desires, these material desires are actually destroying our knowledge. That's what Kritagnyanaga. That's what avritam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya duspurena analena cha. So this kama, this material desires in this material world, we want to enjoy this material sense objects. That's why we are bereft of knowledge. That's why we don't have knowledge. If we are going after material sense objects, that means we are losing knowledge. We will not have any knowledge. That means we are fools. We are ignorant. We are idiots. As per Bhagavad Gita, as per Krishna's instruction, we very well understand that if we are after material sense objects, that means we don't have any knowledge. We are ignorant. So that's why Krishna is saying that Kama is there Hritagnyanaga Prabatyante Anya Devataga. So they surrender into other gods and worship them. Anya Devataga Tam Tam Niyamam Astaya Prakritya Niyata Swayaga. So they will just worship according to their own ways. They will find out their own ways and worship other gods because they want material sense objects. They want material desires. That's what Krishna is saying there. Sataya Sraddhaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanam Ihate Labate Chattataka Kaman Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. So they worship them. Sataya Sraddhaya Yuktas with faith. Tasyaradhanam Ihate. Tasyaradhanam Ihate means they worship. And then they will attain what they want. But that is coming from me only. That's what Krishna is saying. So everything is coming from Krishna. So we need to understand. That's why I said in the beginning that even if you are going after material sense objects, even if you want to enjoy this material material sense objects, we need to understand that they are coming from only Krishna. Everything is coming from Krishna. Then why don't we go to Krishna? And why don't we go to Krishna himself? Why don't we go to Krishna as well? Goloka. Be with him all the time. He is the source of everything. And Krishna will give us unlimited happiness, unlimited enjoyment. Everything you can enjoy unlimitedly if you are with Krishna. That is called real knowledge. That is called real intelligence. So the real intelligence means we should not be suffering and struggling in this material world, going after this temporary material sense objects. We should go to Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying that Antavatu Pallam Tesam Tadbhavati Alpametasam. So the Alpamedas, they are less intelligent. They don't have intelligence. So Antavatu Pallam Tesam. So those kinds of results will come to an end. When you go after material sense objects, those kinds of results will come to an end. Antavatu Pallam Tesam Tadbhavati Alpametasam. So Devan Devayo Yanti Madbhaktaha Yanti Mamapi. So those who worship the demigods will go to them, but those who worship me will come to me. Madbhaktaha yanti mamapi. That's why we should worship Krishna. We should surrender unto Krishna. We should do everything for Krishna. So that way, if we get connected ourselves with Krishna, with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we are going to get what all we need. Everything is taken care by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. We really don't have to worry about anything. We don't have to get cheated by anyone in this world, because this material world is full of cheaters and cheated. That's it. If you are going after material sense objects, we get cheated. All the time we get cheated. And we think that everything is permanent, we get cheated there. We think that we are going to get happy by going after this material desires, then again we will get cheated because we are not happy. At the end, we are distressed. We are not happy. So the real happiness comes only if we go after Krishna. If we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we surrender unto Krishna and do everything for Krishna, if we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and engage ourselves all the time, keep ourselves very busy in spreading this supreme confidential knowledge, that is Bhagavad Gita, that is Guhya Uttamam. So if we just keep that as our priority task, our primary job, so then by Krishna's mercy, we are under full protection of Krishna, and Krishna is going to supply what all we need, and we are not going to struggle and suffer in this material world at all. And definitely at the time of death, we will be able to forget about this material world. We'll be able to completely disconnect, detach from everything in this material world, and we are ready to actually go to Krishna as well. So that is our place, that is our well. So that's where we need to go there and permanently live with Krishna and lead a blissful, happy and blissful life. So for that, this life should be used. This life, this human life, what we have got, it's a very rare opportunity. We cannot lose this. We should not lose this, and we need to effectively use this. So for that only we are actually studying this Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna's mercy is with us all the time. So that's why Krishna is actually making us to understand this knowledge very well, and we are able to progress also in this effort every day, and we are able to study and understand all these slokas in this Bhagavad Gita very successfully. We are able to understand everything the way Krishna wanted us to understand. So now in the 13th chapter, Arjuna has asked very important questions. Every chapter, many chapters, Arjuna is asking very, very good questions, excellent questions. And of course, Krishna is answering everything. Especially for one question which Arjuna asked in the 8th chapter, there is Prayana Kalecha Katham Nyayosi Niyathatmabi. So at the time of death, how one can understand you? It's a very important question. Because Krishna said that if you remember me at the time of death, you will come to me. So that's what we need to achieve. So our goal in this life is only to remember Krishna at the time of death. So that means remember Krishna all the time. So we should engage ourselves in remembering Krishna all the time. So if we remember Krishna at the time of death, we are going to go to Krishna. So, but Arjuna asked Krishna that Katham Nyayosi, Niyatatmabi, Prayana Kalecha Katham Nyayosi. At the time of death, how one can remember you, how one can know you. So that's what Arjuna asked. For that, Krishna, even though Arjuna asked many questions in that sloka, Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Madhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottama, Adi Bhutam Cha Kim Proktam, Adi Daivam Kim Uchyate, Adi Yajnaka Katam Kotra, Degesmin Madhusudana, Prayana Kalecha Katam Nyayosi Niyatatma Bigi. So all the questions Krishna answered in the next two slokas, but this one question, Prayana Kalecha Katam Nyayosi Niyatadma Bigi, Krishna actually took 60 slokas to answer. So in the 7th chapter, and then Krishna is answering many slokas, not 60 slokas. So basically in the entire 7th chapter, Krishna is 8th chapter, Krishna is answering. So I mentioned about that 60 slokas actually in the 6th chapter when Krishna is talking about for the fifth chapter, the first question. At that time when Arjuna asked Krishna about like giving up the results or giving up the action karma, which one is best, for which Krishna took 60 slokas to answer in the 5th chapter. There is 28 slokas in the 5th chapter and 32 slokas in the 6th chapter. But in this question also, in the 8th chapter, when Arjuna asked this question, actually Krishna is continuously answering. So Krishna, in the entire 8th chapter, afterwards Krishna answered. And then in the entire 9th chapter also, Krishna answered. So that way 9th chapter has got 34 slokas and the 8th chapter has got 82 slokas. So it is roughly about close to 60 slokas. Yeah, again, it's up to 34 plus 26. So it comes to 60 slokas. So similarly for the 5th chapter, when Arjuna asked one question, Krishna took another 60 slokas. That is 28 plus 32, 60 slokas. Here Krishna is answering about 34 plus 26. So 26 plus 34 about basically 60 slokas. So that way Krishna is taking so many slokas to answer these questions. It's a very important question. So now in this chapter also, in the 13th chapter also, so now in the very first sloka itself, Arjuna asked a question for which Krishna is answering this entire 13th chapter, and even in the 14th chapter also, until at the end when Arjuna asks the question about what are the symptoms by which I can understand a person is freed from the modes of nature. So until then Krishna is answering. So that way Krishna is taking many slokas and answering everything in depth. So that way we are very fortunate to study and understand these slokas. So now let us study in the 13th chapter where we are. So we finished up about 4 slokas. So Krishna said very clearly that I will explain to you. So about what are the how this kshetra, it is actually whence it is produced, what its changes are, and what it is, and everything Krishna is saying that. So tat kshetram yaccha yadriksha yat vikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena meshunu. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So I will explain to you about the field of activity, how it's constituted and what its changes are and whence it is produced. So everything in summary, I will explain to you. That's what Krishna is saying that. So what Krishna is saying that in the next sloka, in the 5th sloka, in the 13th chapter, Rishibir Bhaguta Gitam Chanto Bigi Vividai Pratake Brahmachutra padaischaiva hetumatbir vinischitaigi. That's what Krishna is saying. Rishibir Bahuda Geetam Chandobir Vividaigi Pratak. So Rishibir means rishis. So rishis have sung many Gitas. So that's what Gitas means the songs. So rishis like Bhagavad Gita. So the song of God. So like that rishis have sung many Gitas. Bahuda Geetam. So Rishibir Bahuda Geetam Chandobir Vividaigi Pratak. So by Vedic hymns, different kinds of various Vedic hymns, Vividaigi Pratak, different kinds of Vedic hymns, and also Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva. So Brahma Sutra. So there is the Vedanta, those aphorisms. So Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva Hetumatbir Vinischitagim. So certainly Vinischitagim. So they have the cause and the effect about this kshetra, kshetrajna, everything they have mentioned, they have described. So they have described by various sages. So now you listen from me. That's what Krishna is saying. That. So Krishna is already saying that everything, already many rishis have explained, have given these answers in the past. So but this Bhagavad Gita is enough for us. We are getting this message directly from Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are getting directly this message. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we just have to study and understand this Bhagavad Gita just directly from Krishna and just understand. We really don't have to study different Vedic hymns or Brahma Sutras, all those things. It's not needed because everything is Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Krishna is explaining that you tat samasena me shrunu. In the previous sloka we understood it. You hear from me. That's what Krishna says. So that knowledge of the field of activities and the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. So immediately we can ask a question, what is Vedanta Sutra? What is Brahma Sutra? What is mentioned in the Vedanta? All those things. Really speaking, we really don't have time to go through all those things. And it is not needed also because Bhagavad Gita is the essence of everything. Bhagavad Gita is the juice of everything. We just have to drink this juice. That's it. We just have to study and understand this Bhagavad Gita, especially in this Kali Yuga, in this material realm. So for us, this 18 chapters, 700 slokas, if we understand fully, completely, and we have very important duty also we need to understand. We should not forget. We should not forget that we have very, very important service opportunity. That is for us to go back to Krishna. We just have to spread this message. So the time is not there for us to do that. We need to effectively spend all the time in spreading this message. That's what is very, very important. So we need to really think, plan, act, and we need to actually spread this message. That's what is a very important service opportunity for us to go to Krishna as well. So that way, for us, we just need to understand this Bhagavad Gita fully. So that is actually more than enough. Hare Krishna. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 5th sloka in the 13th chapter today. Hare Krishna. I'll stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees. I request you to post the questions in the chat window now.